Hello, everyone, and good evening. Thank you for attending this presentation. This is going to be a brief overview of our plans for Unionville College for September of 2022. My name is Patrick McCarthy, and I am the incoming principal of the school. What I'd like to do today is share a little bit of information with you all. This will be review, I think, for some and new information for others, but we'll go through it reasonably quickly. And what I'm very interested in doing is saving some time at the end of the presentation for you to ask any questions you may have of me or of my colleagues. Speaking of my colleagues, these are the people who will be involved. I'm sure you all know Mrs. Remtilla, the founder of our school, and Ms. Shazin Remtilla, who's the director of education. Mr. Treehern's the elementary principal. Again, I'm sure most of you are aware of that. And I will be the middle and high school principal. Mr. Rees Remtilla is the development manager, Ms. Galassiere, the head of resource, and Ms. Keeler, who is our digital learning educator. Very briefly, for those of you who may be unfamiliar, UMS has been in existence for over 34 years now. Like many success stories, it began as a small Montessori school in 1987 with approximately 25 students and quickly grew into one of the leading Montessori and private elementary schools in the GTA. The major reasons for this, I think, because of a commitment to our ideals, to inspire, to guide, and to challenge, and an educational philosophy that is firmly rooted in a whole child approach in keeping with our Montessori roots. So, what we are looking to do, certainly, we are looking for academic excellence, but we are looking to enable children to grow to their greatest potential in all realms. And that means socially, that means emotionally, and developing confidence so that they not only have the academic ability to be successful, but that they have all of these other qualities which will help them succeed as well. And it is our intention now to carry over what has been done so well with the younger students into the high school realm. About this campus. Now, as you have probably heard, this will be a middle school and a high school. So the adolescents, grades 7 and 8 from UMS, as well as our incoming cohort of grade nines, will be at this new campus. It is approximately 8 minutes from the existing Unionville campus, and a shuttle service will be provided for students. So parents who wish to drop off at the Unionville campus can do so, and there will be a shuttle to take the students up, and then at the end of the school day to bring them back. What I really, really like about this campus and what I think is important for students this age is they have some space. And this is a tenet of Montessori philosophy with regard to the education of adolescents. And I think, probably your own experience, you realize that kids that age need some room to roam. They need some space of their own. So this space will give them access to regulation sized sports fields, as well as the opportunities for outdoor education. It will be an ideal place for our children to grow. Some of you are probably wondering about the teachers and who will be there. I'm sure you recognize some of the faces from the lineup here, but suffice it to say that our existing excellent teachers will be joining us at the new campus with perhaps one or two new faces, but we will have a dedicated, qualified teaching staff. And these are people who are expert not only at teaching the grade sevens and eights, but will be able to move into the grade nines and teach at the high school level as well. I talked a little bit about our approach, and I think it's, again, very important to understand that Yes, academic excellence is paramount, and we will have specialized faculty. We're not going to have, music teachers teaching math or anything of that nature, but we will have people with subject specific expertise and Ontario qualifications, and people who have done it for some period of time working with your kids in the classroom. In addition, it is very important to us not to have a cookie cutter approach to education where everyone does exactly the same thing. Students need to be nurtured, students need to be known as individuals, and our staff in our small classes will be able to and intend to work with the individual students so that they can develop their passions and interests, both inside and outside of the classroom. You can get grade 9 courses anywhere. What's really important is that they are challenging, that they meet the students' needs, and that they can continue to develop to the best of their potential. One thing that I have seen in the past are students who come from schools like UMS. They can get very easily bored in a public school. They can, especially now, the concern with all of the grade 9 subjects being de-streamed is that you have a year where students can kind of just coast because it's too easy. The key is to keep them engaged, to keep them learning. Now, you can't reflect this in their grades, and so I would expect our grade 9 students coming from UMS to have very, very strong grades because we still must measure them against Ontario curricula in order to be fair. But that doesn't mean that that's all we're going to teach, and that's not doesn't mean that that's all they're going to learn. We want to continue to push them so that they can achieve at the highest level possible and can be very successful in our AP program, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Other important factors, open communication with parents and students so that you as parents know exactly what your children are doing and how well they're doing in their pursuit of academic and other excellence, as well as a voice for students at the adolescent level, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9. They're not little children anymore. They understand how they learn. They have very strong opinions about how they should be taught and how they should learn. And those need to be honored and respected. And we believe in giving them a voice and letting the students feel like their voice is being heard in terms of selections and in terms of approach. So, about the courses themselves, again, as you know, in the province of Ontario, grade 9 will be de-streamed next year, which means that the courses are not segregated based on the academic level, the applied level, or the workplace level. Everyone will do the same core program. That doesn't mean that they're going to be taught the same things and that they're going to be taught in the same way as they would in the public school, because we do not want people slipping back. The mark will reflect a de-streamed course, and that's the credit that they will receive because that is the mandate of the provincial government. However, our students are going to be going well above and beyond what is written in the curriculum so that they can be successful in later years. In grade 10, our courses will be academic and all of the compulsory courses. So the math, the science, the English, and so on will be taught at the grade 10 academic level, as well as the mandatory open or elective courses, things like civics and careers. In grades 11 and 12, the courses will be university preparation. There will be some M courses, which are preparation for both university and college. But the idea is that we are going to provide all the courses that are required for entrance into university programs. So if you want to be a doctor, I mean, there will be grades 11 and 12 biology. There will be grades 11 and 12 chemistry. There will be advanced functions. There will be calculus. If you want to be an engineer, well, then you're going to need to take physics. The language courses that people are going to need will be provided. And we are going to provide these at the AP level. And we will talk a little bit more about that in the upcoming slides. So, to have an idea of what this is going to look like next year, English for everyone, a D stream course. Math, there is the D stream MTH 1W, which is grade 9 math. Some students will already have that because they're doing it for credit at UMS. And in that case, we will give the opportunity for those students to take MPM 2D, which is grade 10 academic math. Science, French, geography, all compulsory. Physical education, compulsory. An arts course is compulsory, and we intend to give the students the choice between a half credit in art and a half credit in drama. Or for those who wish to continue to pursue music, they can do that. Now, of course, that also means that students who choose art and drama, if they wish to be involved in an extracurricular music program, they can do so. Similarly, students who choose music who want to try out for the school play can continue to do so. So kids can continue to be involved in everything. For an elective, we're going to provide an Introduction to Computer Studies course. Now, this is not a software course. This is an introductory programming course, and it's actually at the grade 10 level, but our students will be very capable and able to handle that, as well as a learning strategies course for some students for whom they will benefit. The Reach Ahead Math credit. The Reach Ahead credit will continue to be offered for eligible students, and students who complete this successfully will be given the opportunity to enroll in grade 10 math. This is a great benefit down the road because students who are particularly interested in math and perhaps talented in math may want to do more than one grade 12 math course. As a matter of fact, there's 3 of them. And trying to do these simultaneously can be a challenge, particularly if a student perhaps is interested in engineering, for example, and they're trying to do physics and chemistry at the same time. That's a lot. So by reaching ahead in mathematics, it gives them the opportunity to perhaps do a grade 11 course in grade 10, a grade 12 math in grade 11, and so on, to lighten the load in that final year. Our school will take a hybrid semestered approach. What that means is that some courses will be taught in a semester basis. Other courses will be full year. Well, why are we doing this? Essentially, what we want to do is we want to try to provide the advantage of semester. And the big advantage of semestered courses is that the students have less that they have to study at one time. They have fewer courses to try and keep tabs on. And when they're studying for exams, they have fewer exams to prepare for at one time. The other big advantage I alluded to earlier is it helps with fast tracking in later years. So the student who wants to do the sciences or to do mathematics, even if they haven't done the Reach Ahead course, they can do grade 10 math in the first semester and grade 11 math in the second semester to kind of speed up. And it provides more options, and it's ideal in the preparation for AP exams. In a lot of cases, that means they can do the course itself in the first semester and then do some preparation for the AP exam in the second semester. They don't have to worry about not having finished the course when they're writing the exams. The non-semestered subjects are ideal for things like physical and health education. I never really liked the idea of a student doing daily phys ed for half the year and then doing nothing for the second half of the year. That works better on a day 1 at day 2 approach. So it goes all year, every other day. French is another example because students can number one, lose some of their French if they just do it for half the year and then they don't practice it again for another 7 or 8 months. And also, sometimes students find it a little bit overwhelming to do a French course every day. So, spreading it out is better. A course like music, where you can spread it out and keep those skills up all year, works better on a day one, day two approach. So, what it will look like is something like that. So now this is not carved in stone by any stretch of the imagination, but what we envision is something like this, where in semester one, every day, students will have math and geography for the first half of the year. And then in the second half of the year, they won't have math and geography, they'll have science and English. You split math and science so that because they're similar subjects and the writing subjects, the geography and English, you split those up as well. The other courses go every other day. So French one day, phys ed the next, French the next day, phys ed the next. Arts one day, technology, the computer science course the next, arts, and then technology, and so on. They will write exams at the end of January in math and geography, and then they'll write exams at the end of semester two in science, English, and probably French. I've mentioned AP a couple of times. I'm not sure how familiar many of you are with the advanced placement program. Bare bones, the advanced placement program is a rigorous pre-university course of study, which is internationally recognized. It has been around for quite some time. It is based in the United States, and it is under the auspices of the College Board. Now, the College Board is a group of university professors from the Ivy League. Ivy League, for those who don't know, that's Harvard, Yale, Princeton, those schools in the northeast part of the US, very, very famous private academic schools, as well as a group of high school teachers. And they work together to create these courses, which are offered to outstanding students in the United States primarily, but also around the world. The students write an externally prepared examination at the end of their course, and that mark comes from the College Board. It doesn't come from the teachers at the school. Now, the reason that you would do this, number one, is it's much better preparation for university. Everything else aside, if you do an AP course, you are much better prepared for first year university than if you don't, because the curriculum exceeds anything that you would see in a grade 12 Ontario course. Secondly, the results of the AP courses can be used for university admissions, and students who do AP courses have a much greater likelihood of getting into university, particularly into more competitive programs. Some programs can be very, very difficult, and you need to have a lot going for you other than just good Ontario marks. And AP is one of the main things that universities will look for, that external validation that the student is very strong. It's very helpful in trying to attain scholarships. It provides that extra challenge for high achieving students. And one of the best thing is about AP is there really is no risk in trying it, because students still get an Ontario grade. So if a student in grade 12 calculus ends up getting an Ontario grade of 87% and then writes the AP exam, doesn't do particularly well, and maybe we'll say the student bombs it and gets a 2. Well, they don't have to send that result in. It doesn't automatically go to Ontario universities. It's optional if they wish to submit it. They still have their 87 in grade 12 math to apply to university. So that's why what I mean by no risk. it's 100 and some odd dollars to write the exam. And that's basically it. I know some of you are familiar with IB, and are probably wondering, well, why are you doing AP and not IB? I have a lot of experience with both. I currently work at an IB school. IB is an excellent program, but it is not the best fit for all students. It is a much better fit for students who are geared to study internationally and who are looking for a liberal arts program. IB makes the students jump through a number of hoops. IB requires the students to do a 4,000 word essay in their senior year, which requires a lot of time and a lot of effort, but there's no academic credit for this beyond the IB diploma. So universities don't see this, don't look at it, don't care about it. IB forces the students to take courses from 6 different subject areas. That includes a second language. So most students who are in IB end up needing to do grade 12 French, even if they don't particularly want to do grade 12 French. You can only do 2 sciences as part of the IB program at the most. Some students like to do 3. They want to do physics, chemistry, and biology. It has a lot of requirements regarding CAS, which is creativity, activity, and service. A lot of extracurriculars are required, whereas with AP, it's not a requirement. Students are encouraged to do that, and we will encourage students to do that, but it's not mandatory. So in short, AP provides a great deal more freedom of choice for the students. They can still take the courses that they want to study as part of their university preparation and get recognition for those, but they don't have to do everything. And they don't have to do all of their courses at the AP level. If there's a student who's very strong in arts, but not so strong in math, well, they don't have to write the exams in AP math, but they can write it in AP English if they want, or vice versa. That freedom of choice is the primary reason why we will be going in that direction. And I'm happy to take more questions you may have about AP after the presentation. Some people were asking about the shuttle service. This will be happening. The tentative schedule is that it will do 2 runs in the morning, one at 8:20 a.m., and then it will circle back and go at approximately 8:40 a.m. to get the students to the campus for 9 o'clock, which is when we envision starting. In the afternoon, the shuttle will depart the Stouffville campus and return to Unionville. And again, there'll be 2 runs, one at 3:40 and one at 4 o'clock. Now those timings may change depending on school schedules and parent needs. If there are things like practices after school, we might decide to run it a little later, the second run, things of that nature. More details will come as they become available. And for this coming year, the school will be subsidizing the cost. As I said, the details will be shared based on enrollment, based on the numbers that we're looking at. We'll have more specifics for you by late spring. Guidance in career education. This is something that's incredibly important for high school students as they get older. First of all, there's the career planning and the college counseling. In grade 9, there is less of that. I'm certainly very experienced in this area, and it's something that I'm very happy to talk to families about. But by grade 10 or grade 11, we will have a full-time college counselor, and we will have someone that will be well-versed in the ins and outs of university admissions and be able to help families put together the best plan for students' futures. There is also, of course, the usual challenges that come with adolescence, and we'll be working very much with a teacher advisor program. Students will continue to have homeroom teachers who will be mentors and who will be there to keep an eye on the students, smooth out any difficulties which they might be having, and help them work through adolescence. Because as I mentioned, we're not just about academics, we're about helping the kids be safe, be healthy, and to make good choices. And that's what we will continue to do.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Gallisier. For those of you who don't know me, I've been a teacher with the Unionville Montessori family of schools for the past 20 years, and I'm the head of the resource department. I'm very pleased to be with you this evening to talk a little bit about the Unionville College Student Success Center. As Mr. McCarthy's already said, as an extension of Unionville Montessori Private School, Unionville College will continue to create educational programs that both challenge and address the needs of its learners. The Student Success Center team will provide accommodations and individual programs of support to meet student-specific learning needs in a variety of areas, including oral reading and language comprehension skills, written expression, and mathematics. The SSC team will be comprised of OCT and TESOL certified instructors with additional qualifications in supporting students with learning differences. And we participate in regular and ongoing professional development in order to stay up to date with current research and best practices in education. Through consultation with other professionals, such as audiologists, psychologists, and speech language pathologists, the Student Success Center team creates and guides teachers in the implementation of individualized student learning plans, accommodations, and program modifications. Private speech and language therapy, as well as NILD educational therapy and English language development programming, will also be available for qualifying students at an additional cost. For more information about the Unionville College Student Success Center, please contact me in the resource department at Unionville Montessori Private School. I look forward to speaking with you personally to discuss your child's individual learning profile. And at this time, I'll turn the presentation back over to administration to talk about the extracurricular and program enrichments.
Thank you very much. Extracurriculars. Now, this is something that's extremely important because I know what some of the students are probably thinking. Oh, well, we're going to go to this new school where they're not going to have all of the stuff that we're used to. Well, we will continue to offer all of the programs and have a full complement of arts, athletics, community activities. The list is in front of you, and I'm sure that many of you are very familiar with these types of things. It is important, and we will continue to provide these opportunities for our students. As they get older, more and more will become available. But extracurriculars are something that I think are extremely important for the happiness of the students, for their development. And universities tend to agree with me. And these are things that, as they do their resumes and as they do their supplementary applications to the university programs they're choosing, this will become very important. So we're going to really encourage people to get involved. It's actually a big advantage to be in a small school because you can get involved in so many things and have these opportunities, unlike the 2,000 student school where the best 12 basketball players in the school are on the team and everybody else just has to sit and watch. So there are great opportunities for our kids in that regard. Ms. Keeler, I think we are now in your area of expertise.
Good evening. My name is Peggy Keeler, and I'm the digital learning educator at UMS. I'm passionate about digital platforms and the way that they connect to enhancing a modern learning environment. So at UMS, we are proud to provide a new balanced technology enriched environment that's going to include a design studio and a state-of-the-art STEAM and robotics classroom. Our modern digital learning environments are supported in the classroom through smartboards and a one-to-one device program for every student. This allows for access and use of innovative software, such as AutoCAD, various AR, VR platforms, digital resource textbooks, and an Adobe Creative Cloud license for each student. Being a one-to-one device school also allows our students to use critical thinking skills, collaborative design, creativity to develop and show their understanding of concepts learned in class. Various enrichment activities are also available for all of our students. They can be involved throughout the year in the Microsoft Imagine Cup Junior, the FLL Lego Robotics, Hour of Code, hacker gals, laser, and also 3D printing. With students having access to their own Microsoft laptop and access to the advanced digital software and platforms, extended learning will take place in the classrooms, and students make connections with others in a modern learning environment.
A couple of things about admissions. All grade 8 students currently attending UMS will not be required to conduct an assessment, which means we know these students and we know that they will do extremely well in our grade 9 program. Therefore, it's just a matter of re-enrolling. External applicants, we need to be a little bit more careful about. So they will be required to fill out an online application, followed by an academic assessment and a personal interview. The process is now open, and the site for applying online is there below. Some frequently asked questions. How many students in a class? We anticipate our regular 24 to 25 in grades 7 and 8. Grade 9 will be a smaller cohort, so probably about 18 to 20 students in our grade 9 class. If I'm an existing parent, when do I have to confirm my registration? The answer is by next month. So re-registration will follow the same pattern as it always has. How far is the Stouffville campus? Again, 8 to 10 minutes, 3844 Stouffville Road. What will the fees look like? The schedule will be released next month, and it will likely be a 3 to 5% increase from our current grade 8 tuition. So you can see the amount there. Technology fees would be additional. That is a school laptop. And how will students who have siblings at the Unionville campus get to Stouffville? As mentioned, there will be a shuttle service in the morning and then taking the students back in the afternoon.